recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the witnesses for appearing today. And I'd like to, if I may, take a moment to talk just a bit about what occurred with the pandemic. In 2022, we surpassed 1 million deaths to the pandemic. I traversed the streets in Houston, Texas. No cars, or very few cars, very few vehicles on the street. Businesses were closed. Not all, a good many. People were concerned about paying the rent. They were concerned about paying their mortgages. People were afraid. It was a pandemic, a global shutdown. My assumption is that you're not here today to tell us that we shouldn't have provided money directed to people to assist with rent and mortgages and food on the table and keeping their homes and avoiding eviction. You're not here to tell us that we shouldn't have done that, are you? If you are here to tell us this, raise your hand. Let the record reflect that no hands are up. You're not here to tell us that we shouldn't have spent some $792.6 billion to support small businesses, are you? If so, raise your hand. Let the record reflect that no one has raised a hand. And surely you're not here to tell us that we should have spent the $29.6 billion in emergency rental assistance, assisting 6.5 million households, keeping people in their homes, roof over their heads. You're not here to tell us that we shouldn't have done that, are you? My suspicion is that the pandemic was something that we had to fight by spending money. I say my suspicion. It's a fact we did. We spent $47.8 billion testing, performing contact tracing, and mitigation. You're not here to tell us that that was a bad idea, are you? If so, raise your hand. Let the record reflect that no one has raised a hand. Here's my point. I'm not going to allow the perfect to become the enemy of the good. There were many good things done, many good things. And many of us have been criticized as Democrats for doing these good things to protect the American people when we had a global pandemic. How on earth could we have had the people of this country believe that their government was doing what it was supposed to do without our providing assistance? People expect the government to step in and be of assistance when they can't work because we told them not to go to work, when they couldn't pay the mortgage payments because we required that they stay home. This is what people expect from the government, that we would do these things. So I am exceedingly proud of the way my Democratic colleagues and I were adults in the room and decided that we would do what was right for the American people. Yes, there are some mistakes made along the way. But if you're going to talk about mistakes made along the way and you're going to develop best practices, you ought to look at the entirety of the picture and all of the mistakes. if you're going to have best practices. And that's what we should look for here in Congress. So I thank you for appearing, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. For that, the chair recognizes